Hello, my friends. It is Miss Traver from Greenwood Elementary, and today I will be doing the math lesson with you all about calendar and time. But today we are focusing on lesson 3, which is telling time to the half hour. Hopefully this will be a review for most of you since we have been working on calendar and time every day at morning meeting. So let's get started. All right, so our lesson objectives or our goals are to read time to the half hour, to use the term half past, relate time to daily activities, read and show time to the half hour on a digital clock. Our vocabulary, which is up here in the bright yellow box, is half past. Everyone say half past. Great work. And half hour. Can everyone say half hour? Excellent. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of review. This is an analog clock. Everyone say analog. All right, so you have probably seen a lot of analog clocks in your classrooms, at your school, at your house, all over. So you know that there are 12 numbers on the clock. Now, these big numbers show us our hour hands, and the little ticks show us our minutes. So we know in between each big number are 5 minutes. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 1 would show us 5 minutes. The 12 would show us 0 because we're starting at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 12 is 0 minutes and the 1 shows us 5 minutes. Now let's count by 5s to make this a little bit quicker. We're going to stop at the 6. Here we go. So we have 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Now we're going to stop at the 30 minutes because today our focus is being able to tell time to the half hour. If you look from the 12 to the 6 on this side that we've already counted the minutes on, that is half of the clock. Half of the hour has already passed by. You only have another 30 minutes until that hour is up. So we're only focusing on 30 minutes of the hour. Let's move on. So here we go. This is Leo. Leo wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So let's check our clock over here to make sure it says 7 o'clock. This is our hour hand. The short pinkish reddish color is our hour hand. So it's pointing to the 7. Our minute hand, which is over here in blue, is pointing to the 12. Now remember, since this is the minute hand, it's not pointing to tell us 12, it's pointing to the 0 minutes. So it's 7 o'clock because there are no minutes. 7 o'clock. Leo eats breakfast at 7:30. There's one of our vocabulary words, half past. So let's look at the clock. Let's look at the clock. So we have our hour hand, which is right here. It's pointing in between the 7 and the 8, which means that it's not at 8 o'clock yet. It's still 7. It's 7:30 or 7:30 because half of the hour has already gone by. All right, so let's look again. Leo wakes up at 7 o'clock. This is what the clock looks like when it's 7 o'clock. The hour hand points to the 7, the minute hand points to the 12. But Leo eats breakfast at 7:30 or 7:30. So you can see the minute hand moved down. Here it was at the 12, now it's at the 6. It went through all 30 minutes to get to the 6. So which comes first, 7 or 7:30? 7 comes first because that's when he wakes up and then he eats his breakfast after. So let's practice. This is Pedro. Pedro feeds his cat at blank in the morning. So let's look at our analog clock back here. I gave you a little reminder. Red hand is the hour and the blue hand is the minute. So we see our red hand is in between the 8 and the 9, which means it's still 8 o'clock. Well, not 8, but it's still in the 8th hour. It's not 9 yet. And the minute hand points to the 6, which the 6 represents 30 minutes because it's the minute hand. So it is 8:30. Or another way to say that is 8:30. Children play at blank in the afternoon. So let's look at our clock again. They look like they're having fun on their roller skates. Okay, so remember, start with the red hand, the hour hand, that's the hour. So we can see it's in between the 4 and the 5, which means it's not 5 yet. It's 4, and then the minute hand is pointing to the 6, which tells us how many minutes. Remember, if 12 is 0, 1 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's 4:30. Or 4:30. Okay, now we're going to start with the digital clock. So our first number on the digital clock is our hour. And the next two numbers on our digital clock behind these two little dots are the minutes. So it is 6:30. What is our hour? It's 6. And the hour is, again, it's 6. So it's 6:30, 6:30, or you could say 6:30 because it's at the 30, and the hour is 6. All right, here's another digital clock. We're looking at our hour, which is what? 8. Good job. In our minutes, how many minutes do we have on our clock? 30. So it's 6:30 the hour. So you say 8. And the minutes are right here, so 30. Good job. Let's put it all together. So now we have an analog clock and a digital clock to practice on. So we're looking at our hour hand, which is in between 7 and 8. We know it's not 8 yet, it's still 7. And the minute hand is on the 6, which tells us that it's 30 minutes. So it's 7:30 or 6:30. Oh, there's our hour hand, minute hand, 7. 7:30. All right, here's another analog clock and digital clock. So let's start by looking at our hour hand, which is in between 5 and 6. We know it's not at the 6 yet, so it's still 5. And the minute hand is on the 6, which we know is 30 minutes. So it is 5:30, or another way to say it is 5:30. Okay, here is where I want you to press pause on your computer and practice these problems before we go over them. Good luck. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Hopefully you got 3:30 because the hour is in between 3 and 4, so we know it's not 4 yet. It's still 3, and the minute hand is on the 6, so it is 3:30 because 6 shows us 30 minutes. Number 2, hopefully you got 12:30 because the hour hand is in between the 12 and the 1, so we know it is not 1 o'clock yet. And the minute hand is on the 6, which shows us 30 minutes. And for number 3, hopefully you got 9:30. If we look at our analog clock, the hour hand is in between the 9 and the 10, so we know it's still in the 9. It's not 10 yet. It's still 9, and the minute hand is on the 6, which tells us 30 minutes. So you could say 9:30, or you could say 9:30. Great work, my friends. So here are your next couple jobs. Number 1, go around the house and identify analog and digital clocks. See how many you have of both. Number 2, practice identifying the times on the clocks. Number 3, log into ALEKS or Mathseeds to practice more math.